Good afternoon. Welcome to North Point of View, beautiful, historic Savannah, Georgia, with Dr. Walter Kemmsies.
Hey.
Walter?
Hey, Mark, how are you?
Good, man. Good afternoon.
Good
How's
afternoon.
everything?
It's great. Everything's great.
All right. We've got sort of a trend that we've been talking about for a couple of years, the COVID, the pandemic issues, everything related to lockdown, change of the economy, home improvement, Netflix, everybody's at home, Delta stock down, Carnival Cruise Line, all the lifestyle stuff down.
Right.
And now we're in a period, we've seen it pretty dramatically the last 6 months, certainly over the summer, the last 3 months, it's flipped.
Right.
So we had COVID, winners and losers, now losers and winners. Let's start with the first bracket, right? The home improvement side, Netflix, you brought up Robinhood, everybody was staying at home, doing the self-trading online. What am I going to do all day, right?
Exactly.
Crazy growth for a year and a half, 2 years, right?
I pulled the data. If you go online, to the Federal Reserve St. Louis website, they have a nice data site. You can type anything in and they'll show you what data we have on it.
You keep telling me to go to that site. I don't know, I get sort of bogged down when I get over there.
I can
It's a little bit confusing to me, but go ahead.
So to me, the data series to look at, and a lot of economists look at retail sales to gauge consumers.
Right.
I'm not a macro economist who has to make stuff up. I'm a port economist. I'm a real estate economist. And so what I look at is the retailers' sales.
Right.
Their inventories, because that's the Walmart, the Target, these are the big retailers and the little ones. And we shut down, and then when the rebound started in June, as we reopened the economy, retailers' sales jumped to a 22% adjusted level compared to what happened in 2019, and they stayed there. They've been growing. Recently, some of the high growth is driven by inflation, but most of it is just pure volume growth.
Right.
And we looked at that, and we looked at the share prices of all the retailers, and they had gone up a lot. But I did a simple calculation. If you just extrapolate the trend, and retailer sales grows at a steady rate, about 2.5% to 3%, and then you get that jump, and it continues to grow a little faster beyond that. So by 2021, the end of 2021, I had it that we were about at the level of 2027 sales that I would have forecasted back in 2019.
Wow.
So that's why the ports got congested.
Sure.
I mean, it's just crazy.
Makes sense.
So anyways, I was shocked at how much.
We're at home. Let's buy couches and TVs and add a deck to the backyard, the whole thing, right?
Exactly.
That's what everybody did.
Yeah, I mean, and then you couldn't get anything that you bought.
Yeah, there was that.
I know. I always wanted. I didn't know that I always wanted, but those little butler things in hotels, in the nicer hotels, where you can hang your jacket and your pants.
Yeah.
I always wanted one of those, and so last year Christmas, I put that on my list, and my son ordered it, and it said it would be here December 21st. It
Which
arrived.
year?
Exactly. It arrived June 21st this year. 6 months late to the day.
I think Lindsay finally got her couch, by the way. I know you guys are hanging with bated breath on that one, but Lou finally got her couch, right?
It was so funny. She stormed in every morning. Damn it.
All right, so 5 years of growth in a 1 year period, right?
Yeah, and we looked at that, and we both did, and we said, this is the minute we get herd immunity, this is all going to go away. And in fact, it is. I tracked the TSA data. That's the Transportation Safety Agency, or whatever the TSA stands for. Every day they publish how many people were processed in U.S. airports the day before. And the data goes back to 2018. So I'm not a huge big data guy as a consultant to Walmart or Target, although if they were smart, they'd hire me to do their forecasting.
They should.
But basically, you took the TSA data and you could see that nosedive in 2020, and then that struggle to get back. And the only reason we're not back is because the airlines, some of them were given big amounts of money not to fire anybody, went ahead and early retired and ditched people. Now they want the people back and or hire people. And I'm sorry, but some of that was pretty nasty business. I wouldn't want to work for a company that at the drop of a hat was stupid enough to believe we would never fly again.
Exactly. But what we're talking about with the retail side and on the transportation, travel, lifestyle side is literally getting back to the trend line.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. So we were 70% of our consumer spending was on goods, 30% on services. That shifted to 70, from 30, it jumped to 33% on goods, which is, we're a $20 trillion economy. The 3% on a base like that, 60% of our consumer spending, 70% is consumer spending. So that's $14 trillion right there. A 3% move really moves the needle a lot. So anyways, starting last year, third quarter, we saw the peak of the shift to goods. And since then, every quarter, it's been declining.
Right.
And so we are moving back to trend.
Right.
And I don't think we could get to trend as much yet because we need all the excess employment in the excess employment in the COVID winners, like Amazon has too many people, as they quit and go join the service sector, then we can get the service sector back up to where it was.
Right.
So the key question, what does this mean for port industrial real estate?
Right.
And the answer is not that much really, because guess what? The service companies have to import stuff too to provide the services. The airplanes import nuts and other items that they give you, like those little earbuds when you get on Delta. Hey, you want some earbuds?
But Walter, how many earbuds can you put into a container? I mean, it's like 10 million. That should be one of the. Okay, whoever comes up with the answer to that wins. Do we do Taco Tuesdays?
Yeah.
Free tacos next Tuesday down on Bull Street.
Yeah, but the calculation's got to work.
But the fact of the matter is, I mean, you look at the surge in orders for Boeing jets and even the Airbus stuff. I mean, now that the travel has clicked back in, all these companies now signing up that deferred, maintenance or deferred acquisition. Mm-hmm. They're plugging in, and so now these manufacturing facilities have cranked back up.
Well,
right?
Try to.
Yeah. They need workers.
Yeah, and they need supply chain stuff too.
And hence back to the port issues, whatever. You're just trading one good for another.
Exactly.
Basically.
Yeah. And I think the other big mistake that was made is, people saw that jump. E-commerce share of retail sales.
Right.
It jumped from like 11% to 14%. And people started projecting from this ridiculous peak to, we're going to be at 30% of retail sales by 2025. And you remember me saying, this is not right. This is definitely not right. You should cut back on that. We're not going to get there that quickly.
Right.
And what's happened? The retail share of sales that are e-commerce has dropped right back to a trend line.
Back to the trend line.
Exactly. And it's a quadratic function. I have to do this. I'm a bit.
Go ahead.
The
Give
trend
it to
line
us. We've been waiting for the quadratic equation here.
Exactly. So if you fit a quadratic trend line to it, it fits perfectly, except for the jump up and down during the pandemic.
Right.
So again, these guys, they should have hired a guy like me to say, hey, listen, you want to ixnay on all of this expansion until until we've regained the trend.
And my takeaway on all this is the way that I'm able to sort of take this and manage it in my brain is you got to look at the trend line.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
And it's straight math.
What did we used to say back on Wall Street? The trend is your friend.
Absolutely, man. The trend is your friend. Hey, Walter.
Hey, thanks man.
man.
That was fun. Take care.
See you guys soon.